So wonderful. So I think we should probably get started. So it's great to meet each of you. Thank you everyone for making time today. What I wanted to do was basically just to tell you a little bit more about our practice, about my practice. I'm a double board certified fertility specialist, reproductive endocrinologist based in Los Angeles area. I have offices in Pasadena, which is near the Rose Bowl, and just north of downtown LA, and in a bedroom community called Rancho. Hang on one second. Oh, hang on. There we go. And the handouts that hopefully you all received, I'm going to try to keep today's talk just a little more focused to allow for questions. Is a little description about myself. I came through some of America's highest training programs. I was very blessed to do my fellowship at the National Institutes of Health. In terms of other stuff, a big part of our practice is taking care of our international patients. But today is very much all about family. These are my children. The youngest, Caroline, or Coco, we call her, was a product of IVF herself. When we were building our family, it became more difficult to have our last child. So she's wonderful. She's very energetic and keeps us on our toes. One of the things that I very much wanted to focus on is a little bit what I was mentioning today in the little introduction about why would you choose to work with my team? Why would you choose to work with HRC Fertility? And what makes us different? And a big part of that, I would say, is the individualized patient-centered care. And what that is where you have a dedicated doctor, a dedicated nurse, sort of guiding you through the process. Another huge feature, of course, is our success rates. That's where my compulsiveness, my OCD-ness really comes out in the ability of creating high-quality embryos. We work with different surrogacy agencies. All of the egg donors, all of the surrogates have been medically cleared by myself. We're different from many practices that are here today where they have more of a doctor of the day model. And the doctor of the day model works well for physicians because you actually have a weekend off, or you have this sort of thing. Where I think it's not as beneficial is the success rates, and having that doctor who's hyper involved with your donor, with the surrogate, making sure you get as many good, healthy eggs as you can. Myself, I drive a fair bit. I live in Los Angeles. There's a bit of traffic there. So I'm regularly talking to my dads here in Europe, here in Asia. And after the retrieval, we oftentimes use WhatsApp, we use Skype, and we give just a little report, how everything went, and what the next steps are, and how we anticipate everything going. So getting that personalized care, I think, is a little different at other clinics, just as far as their model. Other stuff, each egg donor and surrogate is screened by myself. At the moment, we don't have an in-house option, but my partner and I are actively creating an egg donor program that we have in-house. And I partner with surrogacy agencies that are here at this conference that have egg donor programs within their surrogacy agency. So that allows me to make sure that we get really good, high-quality donors. One thing also I would just mention is that as far as programs that have in-house donors versus not, many times you end up getting better donors if you work with agencies. Now, please understand, I've worked with situations where we've used the sister of one of the husbands, or we've used a close friend or a family member as a way to help add to a person's family. And when we do that, we have to just make sure we went through all the appropriate screening steps. And that's where, if you see that little PowerPoint slide, I have like 3 or 4 slides on how to select a donor. What are the different steps and things like that, medical clearance, genetic, infectious disease. Another big part of my focus is nutrition's impact on health. I spend time talking to each donor surrogate about this. I really encourage people to do their best eating low inflammatory diets. I encourage all my male patients to do their best to take a multivitamin, try to eat foods of a rainbow. You know, antioxidant-rich foods have been shown to help improve sperm quality. Moderate exercise is another way to also help improve sperm quality. Otherwise, my team, I'm blessed. We have a wonderful team. These are some of my care providers. We have 5 coordinators who are dedicated to your success, my success, and the surrogacy agency's success. My nurses that we work with are very kind people. They're very real. You develop a relationship with them as well. In terms of other reasons why we're different, this is very much my life's work. This is what I love to do. I would love to, spend lots of time talking to you about the science, talking about, do you need PGS? How do we go through screening of a donor? Things like that. And that's what we do at our initial consultation and with any follow-up questions. Costs. Our costs are very reasonable. It's part of our mission statement for a high-level, high-touch fertility center, especially in the United States. We really want to help you guys conceive and get pregnant. Included in our global package are unlimited transfers of the embryos that are created. So success rates vary between 70 to 85%, depending on the exact situation. And I feel blessed to have such a wonderful embryology lab with just state-of-the-art equipment. And I think that's about it. One of the big things today and this weekend is all about fit and sort of who you think, which clinic, which agency you think you fit best with. Myself, my team, Andrew's here today. He's our LGBT advocate. He's back there sort of coordinating things. He's a wonderful point of contact. And what I would love to do is to either meet with you guys tomorrow. Literally, we would set up a Skype or a WhatsApp appointment next week to sort of coordinate care moving forward. So let me leave it there. I hope that gives a little bit of an overview. And then I might just open it up for questions. And if there aren't any questions, I could also talk about different things. Because I think in the medical panel tomorrow, many topics will come up. Did I miss anything, Andrew? He's always a good. Yeah. Maybe I could talk about how do we select a donor? In terms of selecting a donor, this is my contact. It's on some of the paperwork. Instagram, Facebook, those are always fun ways just to stay in touch and sort of keep the conversation going. And email, of course, is always good. Lifestyle, I touched on that a little bit. Sperm freezing, very reliable technology. Genetic screening, doing a simple genetic test is also another way, really useful test to make sure you don't carry a rare inherited silent mutation. And if you do, then we want to make sure the donor doesn't carry the same mutation. The HEART program is for HIV positive men. And then selecting a donor. Age of the donor, we typically like them to be in their 20s. We want them to be healthy, their family history to be basically healthy. Remember, it's okay if their grandparents had a little blood pressure or diabetes, that happens, right? You meet the donors many times via Skype or WhatsApp. If you want, the age of an anonymous donor is becoming less and less. None of us are anonymous anymore in terms of 23andMe and genetic testing. Honestly, the donors just want to help people. They're very kind people, ethnic background, you see pictures, they write essays. And then this is the other screening, medical clearance, genetics, psychological, and legal. And legal is important, especially for a surrogate, depending what country you live in. And that's where the reproductive law attorneys really come in. Also here, ovarian testing, follicle counts, making sure that she has a good number of healthy eggs. My ideal for my European patients are to get 20 to 25 eggs, because that usually gives us enough embryos to ensure that we can have one, hopefully two children, especially if we have two sperm sources, if we have two dads who want to have their own biologic children. So those are some key things that I focus in on. And that's where when you have a doctor like myself who is super dedicated and on it, I guess you might say that's a very American phrase, I think that really helps. And you don't necessarily have the doctor of the day where you're like, oh, she has 15 follicles, she'll be okay. But if you have two dads, you're like, oh my God, I need 20, 25 eggs, right? So that's where we really work with you to help you select the best embryo donor. I think that helps how to select a donor. PGS, is it indicated, is it not? That's another big topic, guys. I don't know if we have time, but basically it's a little complicated. Remember, donors themselves are very healthy. They typically create good, high-quality embryos. We're going to grade the embryos. In PGS, remember, this is that technique where we create these embryos, right? Here, they have about 120 cells, and we can use science to biopsy the outside of the embryos. We get 5, 6, 7 cells, and then we do chromosome testing to make sure it's chromosomally normal. It avoids us implanting an embryo with the wrong number of chromosomes, something like Down syndrome, Turner syndrome. It also allows me to feel more comfortable just implanting a single embryo and having a pregnancy rate of 70, 75%, right? So that's really, I think, PGS, it's a little bit of an individual decision, but usually if we're doing this whole process, I think the extra cost of it really does make sense. But that's that. PGD, a little more complicated. Look at this. This is sort of crazy. Humans miscarry. Why do humans miscarry? As women get older, check, their eggs and embryos are not as good quality. So that's why we want egg donors that are younger, healthier, and have more chromosomally normal embryos. So let me leave it there. I love talking about this stuff. Guys, this is my life's work, and I would love to be part of your journey and that sort of thing. So
if anyone needs more information, we have folders that has more information relating to selecting the surrogate and what it looks like working with our clinic. It also has our information, and you guys can come forward and call your questions on Monday after this conference, because usually after all you get all the information and then you get 20 million more questions that you can't ask because it's not there.
it also has pricing. We're very transparent, very open about our costs. It's in our blue folder. So if you'd like, Andrew can give you a blue folder, and please stop by our booth and that sort of thing. Thank you, everyone.